Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with the rematch between my Beastmen and the Warriors of Chaos. This is again in preparation for a tournament that's coming up really a week from now, a couple weeks from the time this game was played. So the list is the same as in the previous battle report, the one just previous to this. Um, but just to be clear, he's got, with his warriors, he's got his sorcerer, and with his marauders, he's got his exalted hero battle standard bearer. He has 2 units of skull crushers, so on the left, those blank bases, that's what they are. And then he's got exalted hero on the disc between the skull crushers and the warriors. I've got both my mages, a level 4 and level 2, both with shadow in the lower right with a gore bunker. I've got the beast banner and my beast lord in the middle, and then some Bestigors on the left. And then on the far left, I was trying to misdirect him a little bit. I have harpies and a razor gore chariot. So, I mean, if you watch the last game, I mean, he absolutely crushed me. And this, by the way, is after Vanguard. I really don't like my list. It's kind of, they're not 3 huge blocks, but, a huge horde and then 2 solid blocks. And I feel like there's just not a whole lot to the game. Anyway, so he gets first turn, he moves up like that. During the magic phase, I purposely burned my Dispel Scroll so he doesn't get anything off, and I burned it because I have the Stone of Spite, which is a bound spell that all arcane items within 18 inches are immediately destroyed, and the bearer takes d6 strength 4 hits. So I want to use it to get rid of the Infernal Puppet. The problem is he doesn't know I have it because it's a closed list thing, but I still have to make sure in the magic phase that he doesn't have any Dispel dice left. And so I don't get it off very quickly, but nothing happened in the magic phase because of the scroll. That's what it looks like on the left. And when I saw that, I thought that was really a mistake because his dogs are going to be easy to catch. And then if I can take my harpies and my chariot in there, and if I crisscross them, my chariot can get an overrun into the flank of his skull crushers. So my only fear here is that he might be planning to flee with those hounds, in which case I'll probably have a failed charge and then get countercharged by chariots. So, yeah, not sure, not sure what he's planning there, and it's kind of has me scared. Anyway, so I move like this. Yeah, if you notice, I think I have a close-up picture that took the Beast Lord out of my Horde unit because I think if my Beast Lord can just hold up one of those 2 infantry units, my Gore Horde should be able to handle the other unit. And my Bestigors can handle the Skull Crushers if as long as I don't get the Skull Crushers in the flank or anything. So that's the reason I pulled my Beast Lord out. There we go. He's not afraid of them. Here we go on the left. So I think he stuck with when I charged because he didn't think about me crisscrossing him, and so again, I mean, that's probably another rule that Marubu's Primal won't like. I don't see anything wrong with it. You declare charges. There's nothing saying which order they go or whatever. So I crisscross them so that my chariot can get an overrun into the flank of the Skull Crushers. And then when we beat the wolves, both of his chariots fail their panic test. They run away, and when my harpies overran the dogs, they actually hit the back of one of the chariots. I mean, it was I could not have asked for anything more in that combat. And then my Razor Goer into the flank of his Skull Crushers. I'm very optimistic about that. So we go to Warriors Chaos turn 2. His Skull Crushers come into my Gore on the right, and I'm kicking myself now for leaving my mages in there. I mean, I was kind of worried about getting gatewayed by having them out of a unit, but now they're just sitting targets. I take that back. My level 4 is with the bunker unit. My level 2 is on the front row, very far right of my Horde unit. So at least there's that. He charges Exalted Hero into the flank of my Beast Lord, and I'm not really worried about that. My Beast Lord's stubborn on a 9 rerollable, and I would like to think that he can beat a hero level character. The problem is I need to look at the stats more closely, but I think an Exalted Hero has better stats than a Beast Lord, which that kind of thing always frustrates me, but I could be wrong there. There we are. And there's that. So my thinking here is, it's going to be tough at Strength 3 to get past a Toughness 5 and a 1-up armor save, but I just need a few. and I have the threat of Occam's um, you know, that would shoot through these guys. So that's really, I was willing for the charge to come in there. Over on the left, his chariot rallies, and then after combat, I did 0 wounds to him. He does 2 wounds to my chariot. This was me in his flank. And then, of course, he just reforms, and now he's going to destroy the chariot. Oh my gosh, a Razor Gore chariot is literally about 10 to 15 points less than that whole unit of Skull Crushers. I get a charge in the flank, and I can't touch him. I don't know if that was just insanely unlucky. And by the way, I rolled 6 for the D6 impact hits. It's just that the Strength 5 can't get through the 1-up armor save. Anyway, so over here, if you look at that card, I was able to get off the Strength hex on his Skull Crushers. And you're going to notice that card there for pretty much the rest of all the rounds of combat. He never bothered to dispel it because it didn't matter. At Strength 4, he was just chewing through my unit. So you notice I'm missing a lot of guys, but I held, thankfully. And over here, I was only able to do 1 wound on him, and it's a push, so I reform to face him. We go to Beastmen turn 2. I take my Bestigor into the face of his Marauders, knowing that if the combat ends up like that, I'm going to lose that very, very badly. But my thinking is that my Horde would come into the flank of his Exalted. I'll beat him through combat res, overrun, and I have a very good chance of my Beast Lord being in the front of that combat and my Horde being in the flank of that combat. And my biggest fear is that I'll actually kill the Exalted champion, the Exalted hero. He only has 1 wound left. I'm in a challenge with my Beast Lord. I need to not kill him, because if I kill him, my Beast Lord just has to sit there and my Horde can't overrun. So I'm hoping to fluff all my attacks, and then I'm hoping that he doesn't get any wounds on me because I have the Ramhorn Helm, which those armor saves come back to I get attack him. I just don't want to kill him. Yeah, kind of funny. So there's that. Let's see, everything else. Yeah, I love over here. He still has the Strength Hex on his unit, and it doesn't matter. He is chewing through those gore. So everything went perfectly. I almost killed that Exalted hero, but luckily he has that one of those crazy ward saves, so he survived. We broke him in combat. We couldn't run him down, but we did get the charges here, and it took us out of line of sight of his warrior unit, which is awesome. We just crush this unit, and he gets insane courage and sticks. So now with Skull Crushers, you can be able to flank charge the Bestigor. Now, a lot of amazing things happened here. One, the Bestigor unit and my Beast Lord, look at those frenzy markers. When they rolled Primal Fury, they rolled double ones. Both of them did. I've never had that happen before. And secondly, he issued a challenge with his BSB, and on a whim, because I honestly thought at this point that that's the game, I said, yeah, I'll take with my BSB. Let's see if he can survive. Yeah, so he kills my BSB. So then my Gore and the flank are only Strength 3 instead of Strength 4. It was the biggest fail I've done in a long time. Just a whimsical move that was just such folly. Go to Warriors turn 3. Lower right corner, he's just ignoring that with his Warriors because he knows the Skull Crushers are all he needs. His Skull Crushers on the left come to the flank of my Bestigor. Yeah, his Exalted rallies and his Warriors turn to face the rear of my Gore unit. So there's a close-up. And this is so bad now that, now if I get Occam's, it just doesn't matter because he goes before me and the units could be dead. So just really, really misplayed over here. If nothing else, my spellcaster should not have been in that unit. And up to now, I needed to have forced Occam's through. I mean, I was trying. Just between dispelling or failing to cast it or whatever, it just never worked. So after combat, I couldn't put a single wound on the Skull Crushers, but I did so many wounds against the unit. I think my Beast Lord got a challenge with his Battle Standard Bearer. I think I only did 1 wound. But I broke them in combat and they fled. So the Bestigors actually chased down the Skull Crushers, which was fantastic. I decided not to chase the Marauders because I knew they would have to flee the rest of the game and I could use my Harpies to try to push them off the board. And I restrained with my Gore and with my Beast Lord so I could line up charges for my next turn. So otherwise it looks like that. And this is the real dilemma on the lower right-hand corner, because going into the last turn, I've got 4 rank and file and my level 4. I'd rather not lose the level 4, but there's nothing I can do. The Skull Crushers have been Strength 4 whole game, and it hasn't mattered. They've just chewed through that unit. So I do the only thing I can. I charge in here. Now the Harpies charged his Marauders who fled. They got out of charge range. And here's another epic fail. Instead of redirecting into the Exalted, I just let him do a failed charge because I figured it just wouldn't matter. And that horrible, horrible mistake there. So my Bestigor just reform. The Bestigor, there's not enough left to do anything with anything else he has on the table, so I just line them so they could chase the Marauders off the table next turn, or just charge it and kill them if I have to. Yeah, over here. And last time, by the way, I was down like this. He won combat by a ton, and I got Insane Courage. I mean, this game has had so many double ones rolled, it's crazy. But the Insane Courage just delayed the inevitable. So over here, the epic fail was that I beat the Exalted through combat res, and then I couldn't chase him down. He rolled higher than I did. But because my Harpies were sitting there, I couldn't move my unit. They had to stop 1 inch away from the Harpies. So his Skull Crushers, who ate my unit in the lower right-hand corner with my level 4 Shadow, they just get a reform, and now they have an easy charge into the rear of my Gore Horde. And he has a chariot coming in the front. So you'd think that, 3 monstrous cavalry and 1 chariot against a huge unit of Gore, that it might be close. Yeah, it's not. Now on the right, my Beast Lord is in a challenge with his Sorcerer, and I just can't wound him. He's got a 3-up ward save that I just can't get through. So he does a wound to me. And I think the wound wasn't even combat. I think the wound was from Gateway. Yeah, so here's his Exalted. He has 1 wound on him, 1 wound left, and he got away. Warriors turn 4, takes a chariot in the front, the Skull Crushers in the rear. My Harpies are fleeing. I think the chariot charged them first. They fled. The dogs charged them again. They fled, and they just sat right there. Yeah, his Marauders didn't rally. They needed Snake Eyes, so they ran off the board. And then, either through combat or through Gateway, there's another wound put on my general. And my Gore, what used to be a Horde, is no longer anything close to a Horde. They're getting chewed through, and Strength 3 cannot do a wound on a Chaos Chariot or a Chaos Skull Crusher. So Beastmen 4, I have nothing to do. My Beastmen have nothing to offer except maybe a flank charge to the Skull Crushers next turn. I don't think I'm going to be around for it. And after combat, they absolutely ripped through that unit. I can't believe the number of wounds they did. And my guys are no longer steadfast, and I stick through Insane Courage. You can't make this stuff up. If you look on the right, I finally put a single wound on his Sorcerer Lord, so 8 more turns and I might kill him. Go to Warriors Cast, turn 5. Yeah, I mean, things look like that. Now he just has to grind me down the last little bit. But instead of doing it in combat, he just gets Infernal Gateway on the Beast Lord, so he dies. Ate the rest of my Gore unit. I think the chariot might have chased him down while the Skull Crushers turned to face my Bestigor. That's not a fight I want, so I just back up. He charges and fails to charge. The game ends like that. So this was a much more fun game. I was really disappointed in myself because making the mistakes, getting my Battle Standard Bearer killed for no reason, and having my Harpies hold up my Gore Horde so that the Skull Crushers could get an easy charge in the rear, those things just killed me. I hate doing dumb things like that. If it weren't for those 2 things, it would have been a much closer game and probably a more interesting game. As it was, the tactic for Warriors is just take some Skull Crushers and throw them into anything the opponent has because it doesn't matter. And that's not fair because everything it went against was Strength 3, and Strength 3 can't touch a Skull Crusher. I wish I could have got my Bestigor face-to-face with him, but obviously I wasn't able to do that. So that's the end of the rematch. I'm definitely not taking this list to the tournament. For one, I don't love the list. I built it to try to be competitive with Beastmen at 2,000 points, and it was just an epic fail. I got some good advice in the last game, but I'm probably just going to rethink everything and just take my Minotaur list. That way, if it fails, it fails, but at least I'm playing with a list that's fun. It's very fluffy. It scores in the soft category with the ETC, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, that was this game. Hope you enjoyed it.